Well, good job, dude. So this was an Eldon, like this guy, because of his own inability to really understand like what he's messing around with. He's got a lot of people in danger. Like a lot of the people right now in Kant are just in a really risky state. Like things are not looking safe for any of them. Nothing looks like it's gonna be moving in the general direction of safety whatsoever. At least as of right now, because now this dragon is going to be going on an absolute shit fit, and the only people I would imagine for sure that can stop him, you have the big people within Britannia, you got Arthur, you got Meliodas, Bond, King, like those people. Still unsure whether or not like regular Holy Knight level people, well, not regular, but kind of like the upper Holy Knight level people are going to be able to do anything. Like if Hauser can do anything by himself. Sorry, Howitzer, before anyone corrects me because I kept calling him Hauser. If he can do anything by himself, that'll be like a big question mark, or anybody around his level, like if Guild Thunder or Hendrickson showed up. I could see this dragon being stronger than them, because even though that's really impressive in terms of like the overall kind of scheme of like where they rank, like how many people they're actually above, it doesn't make it like it's not as crazy meta breaking as it'd be if like they were like this random rampaging dragon was above somebody like Meliodas or any of them. Because I mean, like reality, you would just have to have it above some of the fairly ranked demons. Like this thing would be above a gray demon. That's like, okay, yeah, I can see like that as a fully reasonable level for this dude to be at, and it could still be above a lot of general characters. Because I don't remember if any of like the regular, well, again, not regular, the upper Holy Knights were able to contend entirely with Grey Demons. I remember them being able to fight like Reds. Because I'm just trying to go off of like power level stuff from what I can remember. I think the Grey Demons were like 5,500. Like maybe actually like a good area I could see like this guy sitting is one Albion. Like if he was at level with one Albion, because we know the Albions were stronger than the Grey Hendrickson, like the Grey Demon Hendrickson they fought in the first arc. That could easily like be a ground for it to sit, where it's like, okay, it's as powerful, if not more powerful, than an Albion. I like that's fully believable. I think that's like a good ground that it could sit at, actually, now that I think about it, because it's like it being above again some of the Holy Knights, not a big deal. I don't think it's anywhere close to like the bigger people. I did like the chapter cover. Like you had Howitzer talking to Edlin and Donnie, and he's instructing them. They're just doing some sword fighting as little kids. It was a nice little wholesome cover. But you have the dragon show up, and Donnie's just says kind of nope to that. He's like, I'm not dealing with this. Like, there's nothing I can really do in this scenario. And he turns tail and run. Like, I can understand Donnie running and stuff like against Ironsides and against like this dragon, because there's a difference of him just like not going up against something that like is, oh, this is a threat to me, I better run, and then stuff that's like so overwhelming a threat that you can't do anything about it whatsoever, that I'm just like, yeah, dude, you got the clear to go. Like I wouldn't imagine a character being like, oh man, they're gonna tell me I'm a coward if I don't try and fight this thing that can one-shot me at any point in time whatsoever. It's like, no, those are the kind of guys where it's like, yeah, I can understand why you ran away from that, dude. But the interactions in the cell with Howitzer and Percival and all them, I thought were pretty funny. And they're like talking to Percival after he gets awake, kind of just trying to explain things to him. But Annie is very upset because Howitzer's the one that took the money that she ended up winning on those wrestling matches, and she makes some comments afterwards, like, oh, like kind of like a, oh, you're gonna take advantage of me and like sell me off as some like valuable female treasure on like some like black market. And he's like, no, why would I? You're like, I thought that was pretty funny. He's like, no, you're like 4 feet tall. What are you, like 12? I thought that was pretty funny. I think he just straight called her a whelp. But like, yeah, it's like, no, like Howitzer is like, he's like 6'4" and jacked. He's not looking for freaking a girl the size of his leg. And Donnie was not happy because of the fact that he made Annie cry, on top of that he hit Donnie. So he goes and just does like a sick jump missile attack, jumps right into his stomach, and ends up making him throw up. I figured that was going to happen. We know that this dude's been drinking, and even if the attack doesn't do damage, like you get a direct undergut shot on a dude who's like literally just drank himself to the point where he just passed out, he's gonna throw up. That's gonna feel horrible. And they're just having some pretty funny backs and forth like between their characters. Nothing too kind of crazy. There was some stuff about Edlin I thought that was potential for his character maybe to stick around. Who knows where he's gonna go after this? Because they bring up that even though he's done all this stuff, like he's taken control of this dragon, and I thought it was gonna be more of a power thing. Like I'll go into that in a second, but even though he's had control over this dragon, he's done like some of these criminal activities. He's not killing people, he's robbing them, but he's not like, you know, he's not doing anything too crazy. Like there's still good in him. He's just taking advantage of his situation, you know, trying to get rich. He's not trying to murder people. Like he's a couple clicks away from Donnie. Like Donnie isn't a cutthroat, whereas like neither is Edlin, but Edlin's like a little couple steps further, and then you have like these bandits who probably would kill somebody for like $1. But what had happened was, I figured, like I talked in my review last chapter, I figured it was going to be more of like a power that he had, like he can communicate with these dragons, or they listen to him for whatever kind of reason, and something he was born with, or some ability. But no, like it's he ended up stealing the dragon's egg, and the dragon, like, she just is pissed off about it. She is mad. She wants to get her egg back. One of the, what's his name, Taizo? He's like, oh yeah, this is an old dragon. It's probably the last egg she'll ever lay. So yeah, she's not pleased whatsoever of these guys coming in and taking one of her dragon eggs, and seemingly apparently the only one she's got left. And they even mention how they think it's actually an illusion, and like, well, Percival was like randomly being held captive by Edlin at one point, but that was also just an illusion. It's kind of like working around like the situation, looking at all the different kind of things in it, and like, oh well, the egg is a mirage, and the dragon, and like we think that she's starting to catch on, so we gotta be a little bit more careful. And again, that's just the fact that the dragon is starting to put pieces together. One, shows the dragon is smart, but also is like, yeah, you guys should probably just give up and give in to this dragon, because who knows where Edlin actually is keeping her egg. But it's like, man, you're playing with some areas you probably don't want to, so you probably should just call it good and go home. It's like, at this point, I would just be like, yeah, let's not piss off the giant T-Rex looking dragon. Let's just give her egg back, and we'll all just call it GG and just go. But she wasn't having that. Like, there's a point when the bandits go and they end up taking the egg from Edlin. Pretty much they just take a rock and smash it into the side of his head, and then take the egg because they're trying to command the dragon themselves. And because the dragon shows up, they freak out, and they drop it, and it rolls off the side of the cliff. There's some noting in there that it's like, oh, the dragon's egg could hatch at any time. I was figuring it would have to be something like that, because unless they're in a scenario where it's like, oh, the dragon egg was actually ready to hatch, for some reason it just wasn't, and then the cracking actually helped it. It's the only thing I can think of that would like calm the dragon down, so it just doesn't devour all these guys. You completely can't, and just go on a rampage until someone strong enough that actually can defeat it ends up showing up. Like it wouldn't, like, otherwise, like, I don't really know how they would calm this dragon down. This is a old cranky dragon who just had her apparently last potentially laid egg ever stolen by some scrawny human that's commanding her to help him steal money from travelers. Like this, like, who knows how old this dragon is, but just like think of the age, or like the age gap. The dragon is actually talking to him at one point. Like there's some dragon language that is being spit out. So like the dragon clearly is intelligent. Who knows how old the dragon is? The dragon could be thousands of years old. And some human who's like literally like as old as some of like younger than some of the trees that you've probably just seen grow like in your general area. Like this guy's commanding you to do petty tasks like this. This would just piss you off every second. This would just be like one of those things, like the second I get the egg, you're dead anyway. So unless it's something like the dragon egg, it hatches and the dragon is so happy that it's just like, whatever, I'm just gonna call it even and go home. I don't know what they're gonna do. Because the only other option is if somebody strong enough that can defeat the dragon is going to show up and either put the dragon down, or at least calm her down enough that she'll go home. Like, I don't really know any other scenario logically that can go about this. Like, unless Nakaba is going to have Howitzer step up and really impress and defeat this dragon. But they mentioned that, like, they don't think that Holy Knights can defeat this dragon, so I don't know what he's gonna do. There's a lot of just pieces on the board right now where it's like, well, what are they gonna do? What exactly is the strategy going to be that these guys are gonna be able to pull through and potentially get back in a position where this dragon isn't going to just light fire to, like, this whole area? I assume it's a fire dragon. It could be like lightning or lava or something. Who really knows what kind it is? There's smoke coming out of her mouth at one point, so maybe it's a fire dragon or at least some form of heat-based dragon. Either way, I mean, fire is just kind of like the default kind of like guess of like what kind of dragon is. But either way, they're not in a good spot whatsoever. They're in a position that could easily go south. That could easily just completely go screwy for them. And if they want to get out of this, there's gonna have to be a lot of general luck factors that come into play. Like I said, something like, oh, the dragon egg hatches and the dragon is just so overjoyed that she decides to, like, let him off the hook. She just lets it slide. She's like, this is worth more problems than I'm willing to put in, kind of thing. If she can do that, then they might be good. But I don't see Percival or any of these guys defeating this dragon as of right now. So whatever Nakaba has planned, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing. But whatever that's going to be is going to have to be hopefully soon, because there's few things that it's going to piss off a dragon faster than smashing one of her eggs. I can guarantee it. So next chapter is definitely going to have to at least hint at what's going on. I think that the whole point of, like, when they're like, oh, the dragon egg could hatch at any time, was one of the things in there. It's one of the only avenues I could see, because otherwise, like, is what Meliodas going to show up and defeat this thing, and we're going to get, like, a Meliodas cameo and reveal. We'll see, Nakaba. I mean, like, I believe that you can give something hype. I believe you got some good plans. For the most part, I've really enjoyed Four Knights of the Apocalypse, and I'm hoping he can keep it up and keep going, because it's been really solid. And if he can get him out of this situation, I'm sure that they can continue back on their journey and get to, you know, just get back to, like, a general area of, yeah, we're not gonna do that again. We're not gonna go. We're not gonna do anything that involves pissing off a really old dragon. Okay, come on, guys. Let's get back on our let's get back on the journey. We're going to where are they going? Leonis, or are they still going to Camelot? I don't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, other than that, though, comment below. Thumbs up the video, but friend, like button, subscribe button, check out my other videos. Other than that, I appreciate everybody subscribing. I thank you all for listening. Bye.